Well, folks, I'm having to do the video again. Something that I forgot is when I plug in my mixer to the computer, it it goes to a separate sound card, and so then it negated the main one until I unplug it. So it's Halloween. Excuse me. I woke up feeling like I'm going to catch a cold, or I've caught a cold. I've got a bit of a cough. It's been strange this week, since Saturday. First, it was my leg, actually, on the left side. Then the next day, it was my back, which I told you about. Then later, yesterday, my neck was bugging me. And then I wake up this morning. So come on, body. Chill out. I'm getting old, but so what? Come on. Don't be breaking down on me. So let me try to remember what I shared. I was informed, and I really should have checked first, but I was informed that there is no Bandcamp Friday this November. The next one is in December. I'm going to go ahead and release my new album, Inner Image, tomorrow on Bandcamp digitally. And I'd like to encourage folks to just go ahead and purchase it, purchase some RAF. I dare say that I'm not the only person who benefits from the Bandcamp Fridays, and that those may indeed be the only times that we get sales. I wish Bandcamp would do it permanently every Friday, every month. It would benefit the community. It would. But along those lines, I want to share that a while back someone had asked me, why don't I put some real bass on any of my tracks? And the reason was because I'm mostly interested in getting the idea across, not so much interested in performing. But I went ahead, because I was thinking about this, and so I went ahead and I put on some real bass on one of the tracks. That's funny. I put some the vibration of the bass made it drop like that. I went ahead and put some real bass. Come on now. Sorry, folks. There it is. On one track on the new album, Inner Image. I'm not going to tell you which track. Some of you may notice, and I think many of you may not even notice the difference. But then I go ahead and do that, and also after, because I set up with the Behringer board, which is in better shape than my Fostex. My Fostex, actually, some of the channels on the board are fried. So it just made it easy to go ahead and do some dubbing, and so I added some bass. Someone sent this to me, but I'm not exactly sure why, because it's not a new release. And I don't remember the name on the package, but received this a few days ago. The Black Sea Set and Setting. And this was published in 2004, so it's 20 years old. And I'm not exactly sure why the person sent it to me. This is a little stiff sounding to me. It sounds like it's mostly digital. There's maybe some real instruments on here. There's some sampled voices. But it's like, it's kind of okay. I've listened to it a couple times, not all the way through, but a couple times to really try to catch the flavor so I don't misspeak. It seems dated already. Thanks for sharing. I'm not exactly sure why. There was no note or anything with it. So I'm not into Halloween. I haven't been for a while. It's kind of a personal protest in some ways. The world is so out of balance and crazy. The last thing I want to do is get more crazy and dress up and mess up, as Malcolm McLaren would say. So I don't really have a lot of patience with It's been a while since I played Halloween or done a Halloween party. And the last one that I went to, honestly, I did not enjoy. I did, but by the end of the night, I was like, let me out of here. I stayed too long. People were really drunk and stoned, and those days are over for me. But a couple of records I pulled just to show, because I often think of these records at Halloween time. Black Sabbath, Paranoid. Now, I just got done actually playing a bit of this. This is a terrible pressing. Terrible. I don't know that I'm going to bother to get a different, because I very seldom play this. And I used to have an original Warner Brothers fold out, but that got played to death. This is only slightly better quality pressing of the first album. I still remember the first time I heard this, because I was in bed. It was a high school night, red vinyl. And when it starts, it startled me. This album, absolutely, even though it wasn't recorded very well, we didn't know about recording rock music very well back then. It's a standout. It's just a standout album. I love Black Sabbath. Sitting here, some records that I'm showing online in the record groups for Halloween. DOA by Blood Rock. They're from Texas, I think. This band was one of the first professional pro-level rock concerts I'd ever been to as a kid. I think it was 1970. On the heels of this hit, DOA, which is very appropriate for Halloween, huh? Very, very eerie recording. They were really good in concert. Real good. Another single that's sitting out that I showed in online today is Beast. The band that Brian Gregory started after he left the Cramps. I don't think this is goth at all. It's kind of trash rock. Possessed and Wolfbane Night. But again, based on their look, this brings to mind Halloween. Before I go, I'll finish out with the other records that I showed in the video that didn't. Anyway, Broadcast, Haha Sound. A wonderful retro futuristic sound. The past and the future at the same time. And Trish's deadpan vocals. No emotion, but it's just right for the music, and rest in peace, Trish. Hadn't played this in a long time, and it does sound dated, but this is some good stuff. Bill Nelson, The Love That Whirls. Diary of a Thinking Heart. At this point, he was strongly influenced by Yellow Magic Orchestra, doing a lot of electronics, drum machines. So there's a timbre to a lot of this that dates it. It sounds 80s, but they're really good ideas. He's a good musician. What else? Played some of this last night. In some ways, Legendary Pink Dots can go well with Halloween, but to me, Edward Caspell is more of just a fantastical storyteller, and one to take you into his world. Angel in the Detail. I'm fascinated by how prolific Edward Caspell is and how he does not repeat himself. He seems to be an endless well, bottomless well of ideas, and all intriguing. Really good. The words, the imagery, as well as the music. I love his voice, too. This is way cool. Angel in the Detail. Last thing that I played, other than working on my music in these last few days, is this Italian progressive band, I Califi. Now, they're in that book that was recently put out by the Freeman Brothers about Italian prog, but other than that, I have very seldom heard mention of this album. in circles regarding progressive rock and Italian. It's like, why? This is really good. Keyboard dominated, very melodic, really well played. This is a reissue on kind of a neat shade of pinkish red or whatever. Really good album. So when I pulled it to refresh myself, that was what I was thinking. You know, this is, they always talk about, you know, PFM, Museo Rosenbach, Leorman, all those bands, but you don't hear about this band. This is very good. Some of you folks that watch me that have Prague, if you have an original copy of this or you have more information about this band, please share it in the comments. So, since I had to redo this video, it gives me a chance to remember what it is I keep forgetting to mention. There has been an increase. Now, say I don't want to sound hypocritical, but I want to be honest, okay? I'm experiencing an increase in requests from people to feature their digital releases, where for the longest time I said, if you want me to review it, send me a copy. And I'm still leaning towards that, even though I'm doing digital only releases because that's the way of the world now. I kind of want to leave it like this. It's like if something really knocks me out and I think this is really wow, and it's digital only to me, that's what I want to mention. But I've gotten several things recently where it's like, and I'm still listening. I won't mention any names because it's more than, it's a handful of people wanting, they're wanting exposure, which I understand. But I would just want to be honest about not wanting to go down that rabbit hole too much. If I review something, I like to do it where I can show it to you. It's different, my music, because it's my creation. So me talking about my digital stuff, obviously it's different, you know. I got skin in that game. So you folks who may have been some of the folks to send me stuff wanting reviews, I hope you understand. I'll listen more to these recent things I've gotten, but nothing is really standing out to me like I really want to say, hey folks, find out about this. Not that it's bad, but just that it's not like something where it's like, oh, I really need to make sure people know about this, okay? Anything else? I think that'll just about do it. So this next week, it's already getting crazy regarding the election. It's very bizarre. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. Okay, take care. That's all I got.